How's it going there, YouTube? Jay's Cosplay. I'm back with another video. I know it's been a while since I posted on the channel as far as build tutorials or anything regarding the channel, and I do apologize for that, as we'll get into that reason in a little bit. But as you can kind of tell the title of this video, this live video, which is something I'm doing a little different just for the update build, but we'll be going over the Fenix cosplay build, what I got done and what I haven't really got done, and what I'm kind of working on. As you can kind of tell behind me, we got my armor. The basic shape was done. I went and did and made my template and kind of made it how I liked it. Had to add some extra EVA foam, but you won't be able to really much tell once all everything is done with the cosplay. But kind of the reasons why I haven't really been posting on the channel is, first things first, is I've been really busy with the wedding this year. A big thing was this year was like me and my wife got married, and so I was helping the wife with getting things, whatever needed to get done for the wedding, as well as whatever stuff we needed to buy, and just small things here and there leading up to the wedding and getting that done. And then right after the wedding was focus on getting the car done for a big car show I've been attending for quite a while now, and I'm trying to make it a tradition of attending every year. But I was just getting the car up and ready to what I needed to, and what I wanted it to be for that particular car show. So I was busy with that, but other than that, and having that done and out of the way, I did start on the cosplay build itself. So kind of what I haven't got done and what I have got done. First things first, I have got done was this beautiful Lancer. Perfect. Not really liking how the stock look right now. My mom ran out to repaint that, but I'm going to hold all the painting stuff. Small touch-up stuff and just small things here and there that need to be painted as far as the small stuff goes. I'm going to hold that out just a little while just so I can get this armor done and out of the way. But finally finished. I got all the painting done. I didn't really want to quite do this video until this was all painted and some of the other stuff was painted, just because I had all the DAP Quick Seal to it, and I didn't want all the white showing, and you guys were kind of wondering why is it white and why is it gray. Obviously the DAP Quick Seal, for you guys YouTubers who use DAP Quick Seal in the EVA foam builds, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I just want to have it all painted and ready, so I was busy getting this obviously done and ready, and just more or less getting it all painted. I do like how it all turned out. It's definitely, I'm pretty proud of what I've done, especially for my second Lancer build. She's pretty perfect. She's pretty badass. Red, reason why the barrel's red is to add that heat effect, like it's been shooting a ton of bullets out of it. So I wanted to get that hot look to it. Obviously the blood for been in battle, I just used it on a locust. The blood splattered everywhere, both sides. I'm definitely happy it's turned out. I did use Velcros for these sections where there's going to be, I have lights. I did not put them in there just because I feel like it's not going to reflect on the screen. It's going to kind of be bright on the live video. So I feel like I didn't want to do that. But just did Velcro on this build. Wasn't quite sure at first how I was going to go about. I like the fact that I was going to do the little balloon lights that I did. But I wasn't sure how I was going to do it, and I finally figured it out, how to hold it in place. Because I was just going to hot glue them, but I went with Velcro, that way I can kind of turn on and off. An easy access inside just to turn it on and off when I'm not using it. But that's the Lancer, everybody. Try to video at a decent length, so if it is a little longer than I want to, bear with me. Another thing is, I wasn't originally going to be doing this, but I just kind of studying the image a little more, of kind of trying to get what I need to get done and how I was going to go about making this build for the armor. And I was just studying the picture, and I was already planning on making extra belt attachments for the attachment because on Fenix's belt, because I know he has a bunch of stuff he wears on his belt, so I was going to make some stuff. I've made a few things, and I've kind of decreased, or a few things I was going to make, I decided not to make, and I'm kind of going another way, but we'll get into that. But this, I was decided to make the walkie-talkie or radio. He had it's a little big, but I made a bigger one, and I didn't have a template, so with that I made a template this time for the smaller one. It still looks pretty big, but I feel like it's gonna work. I could have made a smaller one, but I'm pretty happy with actually this one. It's a lot more smaller. Kind of not really forget, but kind of ignore. I know this side's bigger than this just because I ran out of EVA, the particular EVA foam I was using for this. I probably eventually will update this and make the same size on this side or add more. But that's this. I'm pretty happy with this actually. All thing I had to do is painting it with spray plastic dip and probably painting with some of that blue metallic paint that I'm going to be getting at my local supply store where they have glass called Glacier Ceramics, and I'm going to get some blue metallic paint for the shoulder pads or for JD's Fenix shoulder pads. Sorry, bear with me. This is live. I'm kind of new to this. I decided to use by attaching some heavy duty Velcro on this back piece and this piece I'm attaching to my belt and just using it Velcro. I didn't want to glue it on because I wanted to be able to like use it. I could have actually honestly wired some lighting up to right here because it's like this part right here section lights up. I could have went about doing that, but I decided not to. I just wanted to use more or less get these for the function, as it looks like on studying the picture, it looks like he has a press button on top of the talkie for whatever reason, or the radio, and a little twist knob obviously to turn it on. Whatever reason, I have a quick little push button switch and a turn switch. Decided to make that, kind of make it a neat feature, as well as I think what it really is, it's an extra magazine clip holder. I was going to be making that more bigger, but it just was too big and bulky. Plus, I needed to kind of fit more around, make it more rounder with the Cosplay. It just was too big because I made an extra Lancer magazine clip as well as extra Snob Pistol magazine clips. And I was going to make this holder was going to be it. It just was too big and bulky. I think next year I'll most likely make it out of fabric where I can put these inside there. And with that fabric, I'll make it bigger. And then when it's not being used, it can be condensed, and it's going to be more easier with the fabric and stuff like that. Right now, to be out of EVA foam, I decided to also make, it looks like he had on this extra magazine clip holder was a sharpener for the chainsaw blade teeth. Made out of PVC pipe. Still need to paint it, and I still need to attach the piece and paint all that for the thing. I thought it'd be kind of unique to have that on there. This originally was going to be a separate holder, and I have another holder I was going to just throw on the belt for the cosplay build, just for the looks of the cosplay. But I decided to use this with it, and I like how this was, and I just added that. That was a unique feature I decided to do too with this. That was a cool thing I did. Like I mentioned, making the extra magazines, as I made the extra magazines by installing magnets, and I'm going to make the Lancer and the Snob Pistol magazines removable or detachable and reattachable by using the magnets, but I still have to cut these out with the Lancer and the Snob Pistol and installing magnets into this magazine as well as into the weapon itself. That's one thing I started getting done with for both these. And finishing up small things like that. These turned out pretty well. All I gotta do is paint them still. Snob Pistol turned out pretty good, decent. It's gonna work for the cosplay this year, but I kind of want to improve it for the most part. So I gotta improve this. And some things I would go about making it different and more unique. Use round magnet. I'd probably go about using a square magnet for this, so I can attach it to my Snob Pistol holder. What I did have done a while back. I don't know if I showed you. I might have showed you in one of the other videos, but I did get this done. It's all painted. Didn't really need much paint for the fact that it was already gray. Since the EVA foam was already gray, I just painted it with some gray charcoal paint. I plastic dipped the front of it, or I plastic dipped the whole thing with gray plastic dip and just used some charcoal paint, acrylic paint over this, just to paint this. Didn't really much need painting for that. All I got to do for this Snob Pistol is add some silver brush to it, kind of make like it's been worn effect. That's the only thing for the snob pistol that may be really done. It's already 10 minutes, but. And then I got these quick, small little pouches you'd use for like if you were working outside or doing construction stuff you needed for your belt. I was going to just throw a Lancer magazine clip and a snob pistol magazine clip into each bag because I couldn't fit. I could fit 2 of these in one bag, but fitting 2 of these in this bag didn't work out. It wasn't work out so well. So just 1 of each in one bag and throw it on my belt somewhere. These are only a temporary bag holder, as like I said, I'm going to be making a fabric one of these for the holder, and so I can use that. So these are only a temporary bag I'm going to be throwing on my belt. It's functional, what it needs for right now. Still need to paint these. The plans are to, when I go about painting them, obviously painting them the color that I've already painted the snob pistol with the charcoal, as well as the Lancer magazine clip. Paint them like they need to be painted color, and then I want to add some skins on them. Not really skins, but like adding a different effect or magazine color on it. So obviously the regular color, but like one I want to throw the Fenix symbol on both sides of the Lancer magazine clip, and just painting some of that metallic blue in these sections right here, kind of make it kind of more closer to the character itself. Just doing that. And this one I'm not quite sure, but for now, obviously the main colors, what they needed to be to match the existing weapons. My sound effects box. So I'm going to give you a test run, so just bear with me. So you're asking why I originally had another one, but I kind of messed that up and was too in a rush to get this one done particularly, because originally I was going to be making this another belt holder and making a sound effects little box on my belt. Originally I was going to be installing it in the Lancer by just installing on this side of that Lancer, the other side, and just having a switch and just turn it on and off for the different effects like you just heard. But I tried on my test prop, kind of tore it apart. Didn't like how I was going to go about making it. I decided to go about different and install magnets right here, because when I updated the the build on this Facebook page I'm part of, which is Evil Ted's Facebook page. I can't remember exactly the other parts of the name of it, but the Evil Ted's has a Facebook page where any enthusiast of Evil Ted's or cosplay builders making stuff out of EVA foam is on that Facebook page. So if you want to go ahead and look that up, might put that in the description a little later. But Evil Ted's Facebook page, he has a cool page. Any questions you want to know about EVA foam or your progress of your EVA foam builds, which I will post all this stuff a little later on that channel or that Facebook page actually. But I seen a YouTuber or I said original plans were going to install that sound effects right here, but I kind of went away from that just because I didn't want to tear into it too much. But another builder used the magnets, and when he did with the snob pistol, I posted a picture of the snob pistol, and he's like, "Oh, I made that a couple of years ago." Just getting a lot of likes and comments on it and whatnot. But he installed it kind of like in this area, which was cool. I tried doing that same effect for the Lancer on my test prop, and I kind of just destroyed it, and I couldn't figure out how it was. That's the reason why I kind of made that one in the first place too. But I decided to add them in this section, and so when I cut this magazine clip out of the existing stomp pistol and the existing magazine clip out of the Lancer, I'm installing those right there, and then in the foam, I'm going to install the magnets right where these are going to line up perfectly. So that's the plans for that. I go about doing that, and why I didn't install the sound effect box in there in the first place. And then I was going to make a holder for it. I said the first one I rushed into it, taking everything apart, and I kind of messed it up. And so I had to get another one. Got another little toy chainsaw just for the sound effects. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go about using this particular box and taking the other half of this, and figuring out how wide I need to cut a hole into it so I can make it louder, because the stock speaker is not too bad actually, but it wasn't quite loud enough. And so before even trying the water bottle method, I went to Menards and bought a bunch of stuff for the cosplay. And I bought a little Bluetooth speaker, and I don't think it's nope, it's not over there. But I bought a bigger speaker basically, and oh, this will be fine. Well, it's Bluetooth, and the way those Bluetooth speakers is, you work by turning your volume on your phone to make that speaker louder. There's no volume adjustment on there. So that was nice because it's a bigger speaker. So I thought, oh, a bigger speaker, more louder. And so, to tell you the truth, I said I figured out by using a water bottle on that bigger speaker. Didn't make quite loud enough, so I was kind of disappointed. But I tried the water bottle, and it wasn't loud enough. And I just went back to soldering the small little stock speaker and try the water bottle method. And it was more louder off the small little stock speaker. So I'm pretty happy with that. But just taking this existing plastic, I plan on making it out of EVA foam, which is a good idea. But I feel like some things are meant to be made out of EVA foam, and certain things are meant to be made out of, if I had a 3D printer, because it's all plastic mechanics and different things like that. And I feel like certain things are nice for EVA foam, but if I had some more stuff or plastic or some other way to go about making this, I could do so. I feel like a 3D printer would be really good for this particular setup, how I want it. Because I want the effect, obviously, the chainsaw running, and then the Lancer, or the chainsaw being loose. But I like how the setup they have. They have the button you press, and then this trigger. So by basically cutting out the shape I need for this to make it fit over the other half of this, I'll just paint it all black and use this existing piece right now, and just keeping these in place because it's already soldered and probably next year. But it was probably my little effects. I don't know where I'm going to put it quite yet, or how I'm going to maybe just hold on to it, put it in my pocket or something like that, or do something with it. But I want to have the effect. The thing was I wanted to have the effect of the chainsaw effect. Didn't really have to have it, but I wanted to just to make my cosplay more unique and kind of different for the cosplay, the Gears of War, because I'm a big Gears of War guy when it first came out. So I wanted to be, pretty particular on the cosplay. So I still need to do some small brushing, so I'm kind of looking around and stuff, but bear with me. Still need to paint, obviously, this walkie-talkie. This is how far I've gotten on the armor part of the build, and after this video, I'll be doing more cosplay stuff. But pretty happy how this turned out. Plan on using, and also kind of with the build, with the armor build, is to be able to store it where I need to store it. I bought a big storage container, big enough for this. I test fitted it before I actually started trimming it and cutting down. It fits, but I wanted to be able to use, because right now my plans are to just adding the EL wire tape right here for the shoulder pads, and adding the lights right here, and wherever else I need the lights for the armor. The plans are to install that later, so I want to be able to make this attachable and detachable, not only because of the light effect, but also to make it easier to go back and forth to the cosplay and putting it in my tote. So I want to make this detachable because it's kind of, when you add all this stuff, it makes it kind of bulky. Simply adding the EL wire tape to the actual armor and attaching. It doesn't really matter much, but there's 3 different settings on the EL tape if you've never had it. It's got a single solid light, and then you press it, it slowly strobes, and then the last one is a consistent, more faster strobe. But the plans are installing this by using a heavy-duty Velcro into right here, this section. 2 of them will fit just perfect, because I'll have 2 for each side of the shoulder area. But I want to be able to mess with the wiring and all that stuff later on, so I wanted to make this more material. But the plans were to using magnets in this area, as well as this when I had this other side attached. But using magnets right there. But the problem with trying to use magnets here, it's so far away from the armor, it doesn't quite sit flush with this part of the armor. So the plans are using the magnets still in this area right here, because it kind of touches right there. Even though this is flanged a little bit and kind of got a little 3D perception going on, like I did. Like you can tell here, I cut into it, made a little V cut into it. I did one V cut. I could do two to make it more distinct, but I like the one V cut as a nice distinct line. If I would have done two, if I would have done two on the opposite or this side, it would have made this more distinct, which would have been okay. But I wanted that subtle distinctness because it is on the armor. I did the same thing for this, but simple cuts. But some solid magnets right here, and as well as some heavy-duty Velcro strap. The same thing I'm going to be using to attach the EL tape holder right here, so it sits flush on this part of the armor. And same thing with the back part section. Just got to figure out what parts are going to be able to sit on there, and what parts are going to actually, or what parts are going to sit on the armor. Sorry, we're going to sit flush with the armor, and what parts are going to be sitting off the armor to make it a 3D effect. Like this, roughly, I can't quite tell, but it's going to sit like that, and it sits ever so slightly right off the armor, which I'm okay with, to give it more of a 3D perception. But also, it makes it easier with removing it and attaching it to storing and whatnot. But I might add some square pieces of foam and then adding magnets, either magnets in between these sections where the just thought of this. So maybe installing some pieces, little sections of pieces where whatever these holders or the batteries part for the EL tape wire is not setting, so like above or in the bottom right here, maybe gluing some 3D pieces so it sets more out, which I'll probably end up doing, and that way I can use some I'll probably be using Velcro for these sections, just because it's next to electronics and different things like that. But using just little square pieces of EVA foam and just gluing onto, and just using Velcro on top of those. Probably using the round pieces because I have round. Be easier, but so it sits more out as well, and it's still attached to the front. Because if I were to just use this part, this is going to really be attached, so I don't want it to be loose. So that same thing with the back section. I got to figure that out. But the plans are to, here, I'll get up real quick. The actual armor shape, the bottom, and then the back. So kind of a little information about the armor. Looks kind of weird. You can't quite tell in the video, but this is labeled back and this is labeled front. At first I didn't quite like how the front sat on me, even though I tried to make it for the front, and how the back sat on me. So I flip-flopped it, like how the back sat on me more better, and I like how it sat on me. So I switched it around. And plus, this front side originally was so high, and I don't know if you've seen the pictures from the cosplay or the images of Google of the Fenix, is the back part sits up a little higher. So, and the back reason is probably how I made my template and how I went about making it. But anyways, this sat lower, and so originally I cut this down to make it lower, and then I realized how I like the back set on me, and the front set on me better. So I glued the piece that I cut out, and then glued more the edging pieces you'd get from your EVA foam mats, and just trim off the little teeth pieces and glued that into place until I liked it where it sat, which I got this, and I liked where this sat onto. Sort of planned with this kind of off subject, but I liked where this, or I was going to be gluing this into there, but I think it's just going to be easier to just lay it in there every single time, or I could actually maybe do Velcro, but we'll see. But for the most part, I think I'm going to keep installing it as I need it, just on the armor, because I think it's going to stay, because it stays pretty on there. It's got I kept it on there long enough where it keeps the shape of it. I like how this looks on the armor by itself. I'm not quite sure if I'll still do this yet, but I got some of this clear plastic tubing you use there from wiring, and I was going to lace it over the top of it. Got it big enough so it lays over the top of it. But I like, because I want it for the texture, because in the images he has a nice little like line texture like this has for this. So I wanted to do that, but I also do like the smooth texture. So I'll still probably bring that with me for the convention, but I'll may not put it on. We'll see. But said I was gonna be gluing this on, but then the issue was it takes up a lot of room, and I still need to be able to attach this and lay this on, and that takes up a lot of room, kind of, and I don't have much room to attach this because this just attaches around the edging. Like I'll put this on, but I like how the back set, and I just switch it around. It's that more better after even after shaping it how I need it to have for me originally. I like how it sat. Yeah. So this perfectly fine. It sits nice. But then my issue is like, well, it looks awesome, looks pristine with it actually, and then I have to go about adding this. Which I added more layers to the side, which by taking this pieces I used for the back part, the extra edging from the EVA foam mats, and just added to the side to make it more wider. Man, it just, I don't know, I feel like attaching this and then attaching this. Obviously, when I take it for transporting purposes, everything's going to be off it and able to store in the classic container. But, I'll assemble everything as I need it for the cosplay before I actually put the armor on. The armor is not that hard to take on and off. But with a lot of the 3D pieces, I'm going to put a lot of time and focus in getting this front section right here and the back section perfect and where it needs to be so it flows evenly and as close to the cosplay itself. So I'm going to be doing that. But once that's done, I like it how it is, I'm going to go about cutting out pieces, but not making them quite as big as bulky because some of them it's 3D, but I'm only just be gluing if I don't need the full thickness of this EVA foam. Well, some of you may be asking, why don't you use thinner EVA foam? Well, I could, but I'm just going to go about using this because I have it with me right now. And I can have time to go to the Joann's or a craft store and get the different style of EVA foam. But it's with me what I have available right now. I'm going to use it, and I can always trim down and just less thickness of it. So a lot of stuff is silver. Like this stuff is going to be as is, but some of the other stuff is going to be not as thick, but still going to add that nice texture and look what I need to it. But the reason why I say that I'm going to trim some either the half of the thickness of it or 3/4 thickness, so it's just another 3D item. Like I same effect like with this walkie-talkie. This is the actual full thickness of the EVA foam, just so I have more of a 3D effect with the Lancer. Now, you might be able to tell. So this is, I think, about half the thickness. Didn't need quite the full thickness of the EVA foam itself. And this is a little less than that, so I trimmed a little more down than I did this one, but I still just need that 3D effect. So probably some of that stuff will be probably the same thickness as this or half the thickness. If I want a real 3D thickness, then I'll just keep it like this is a full thickness of the EVA foam as well as this section of the Lancer. But that's something I'm going to go about when I'm making the armor. Pretty happy with how this turned out. Kind of a long video, so I do apologize. It was supposed to be a short video, but I get to talking and kind of getting everything. Definitely liking how this looks so far. I'm definitely looking forward to how the build's going to be coming. Another thing is I could keep adding more layers to get it more fitted, because when I have this on and then I'll have the round circle parts of the JD's Fenix's armor out, I'm kind of okay with it sticking out over the foam. I'm not like against not adding more layers and then making sure it's flush, because a lot with that stuff, it's not going to be detachable. I might make it detachable, but the plans were only making this section and the rear section part detachable. But depending how thick I guess I make it, I may make it detachable or attachable. But for a lot of this bottom small detail work like I have here, the small stuff I'll probably glue on there, but the majority of it will be glued on. So this is my template. So I'm pretty happy how that template turned out. And yeah, so some of it might be detachable, but I think I'm going to majority of the stuff, I'm going to small stuff I'm going to just glue on. These I might make detachable too, because I think it'll be a little more easier to storing it, and I may just temporarily by velcroing it when I get the whole shape cut out and this on, and I might just test it and see how it works. And if it doesn't work, then just use the thing, Velcro. So yeah, this is the back side. So originally I was gonna be installing a bigger magnet, bigger than this side, so I can make. You probably noticed, I don't remember if I went over it or not, but I had magnets on the snob pistol holder, as well as the lancer. That reasoning for is I noticed in the game they go back and forth between weapons. I'm not sure how they go back in the game because it's the game, but I wanted to have the effect of me grabbing my weapon whenever I need to, or switching back. Say theoretically my lancer's low on ammo, I had no ammo for it. I go to my shotgun, which I will be making later on. But right now I'm not going to be making it just for the time frame I have. But anyways, I'm going to install a bigger magnet. I'm going to install, I'm going to install both magnets for these pieces into place. Was going to need to do a bigger magnet so it holds better, but for the size purposes, I need to go with the same size I have on the Lancer. So that's the pattern. A lot of it's just going to be cutting stuff out and an EV foam because the pattern's already cut out, and just kind of keep with that and cutting it out and gluing it on. But again, it's to be messing with this section and the front section and getting that perfect and how I want it, so where it's going to be where I need it to be. That's the pattern. I'm trying to take this up a little bit. Pretty happy with how these turned out. Probably most likely end up removing these sections, the front section, making them removable and detachable just as storing purposes. But that's all the test run. After the armor actually is all completely done and it's at where it needs it to, I will do a video on what the final armor looks like. It may be plastic dip, it may not be plastic. Either way, it's going to be completed, and then I'll have to go back about either if I don't do it or I do it if it's plastic dipped. If it is plastic dipped, I'll just go about adding my dab quick seal around all the seams, minus the things that are not going to be, or whatever's not going to be detachable. I won't be adding the dab quick seal. Whatever is whatever's detachable, I won't be adding that dab quick seal. But whatever's going to be permanently stuck on the armor, I'll put that dab quick seal around there. But maybe not, because I think, pretty sure I think it gives a nice little texture, and I don't think I will, but I probably will anyways. Anyways, if it's painted, I'll have that dab quick seal and paint job, and I'll show you what the final actual armor looks like. And then in that same video, as well as depending on if the fabric is the shirt, because I'm making the shirt and the pants. So if that's done, in that video, that same video, I'll be showing you the armor itself by itself, and then I'll be showing you what the whole cosplay ideally is going to be looking like once it's all done. Everything should be done by then. It's just going to be pushing every week, and this Sunday to get everything done for the armor and just hacking away at it until I'm satisfied. Because the plans are to have a little bit, maybe a week and a half to be relaxing before the convention. But we'll be showing you guys that. We're pretty excited. I'll be on my whole cosplay gear. The only thing I won't really have on, because I did buy some bandage tape. I won't be attaching the bandage tape to my hands. But I will be pairing everything. Whatever I'm going to be wearing at the convention, I'll be dressed up and suited up. So that was going to be in that video. So kind of keep an eye out. Not going to be right away, but it will be probably in a month and probably half a month maybe. We'll see how far the progress goes with the build, with the armor, and we'll see where things kind of go and how soon that other video will be up, and especially with the armor. So things before I kind of get to an end. I know the video is kind of long, so I do apologize for the lengthy video. I wasn't trying to make it long, but it kind of happened. And anyways, so after the cosplay done is sort of the plans for the channel goes is to ideally do an intro video to the cosplay channel, like some of the Evil Ted does. Buddy Cosplay does one, Andrew DFT, as well as punished props. They have a little intro video. So I'm not quite sure where I'm going to go about how I do an intro video. But I'll figure that thing out. But it'd be nice to get an intro done. And as well as get the GoPro figured out and kind of tweak with that and mess with the editing stuff. Maybe shoot some more quick videos for Nerf gun video. And just figure out with messing with the editing and different things like that. Just mess with the editing software for the GoPro so I'm familiar with it. So when I go about attaching the GoPro to the JD Fenix cosplay for the walking through the conventions, through the convention, I at least know what to do with it and how to go about video. And plus I have to do the intro video to that day anyways. Going up to the convention, I'll probably do a little footage of us driving up and kind of finally getting to the room. And once we kind of get everything figured out as far as when the schedule kind of gets closer and talk to my friends, what the plans, so we can all kind of go over that in the hotel room. But kind of mess with the GoPro a little bit, kind of get more familiar with it. I've messed with it just a little bit, but not quite enough where I need to be like familiar with it. So the plans are kind of be doing that once this gets done. So hopefully I not rush into it, but I get it done sooner. That way I have time to do so, because that's the kind of the plans I'm hoping for to do. As well as once I do post the convention video, we'll probably do a series of 3 videos. So like a Friday walking through whatever cosplay I have, and in that video I'll be just going the first day, Friday I'll talk about what cosplay I'm wearing for that day. I'm kind of have an idea what I want to wear. Obviously JD's gonna be Saturday, because it's the busiest day, and it's the most day, or the best day that people do their best cosplays in. But anyways, I'm probably going to wear JD Fenix Saturday. Not sure what I'm going to do Friday or Sunday, but I'll figure that out, and I'll let you guys know in that video for the cosplay video. But I have a Friday video, so I'll probably post it late Friday night at some point, or when I get home Sunday or something like that, I'll probably post it, and then it'll be Saturday, and I'll have it labeled the convention name and the day 1, day 2, and I'll put like in italics. I'll put Saturday, put day 1 in parentheses, and then day 2, same thing with what day it is. But I'll do that. But also with that, while I'm at the conventions, there'll be some things. I'll take some notes, personal notes for my future cosplay builds, because I already kind of have plans how I want to go about making another armor, how I can go about making stuff different. What I could do be changing things for the cosplay, what things I need to still finish, obviously, for the JD Fenix cosplay build, but just taking personal notes to improving the cosplay. So that's probably going to be it for this video. Don't have any more notes to look at. So. And then hopefully if I have time to show a quick video with the GoPro on kind of a little more information on what I and how I go about making my Nerf guns look steampunk. And I'll probably use a GoPro for that, for a quick video, and then show you the shotgun that I'm going to be doing for this. If I have time, I will do that video, but all the time is a more thing. But I'll be making the shotgun, painting that. If I don't have time for it, I'll just paint it off air and maybe do some stuff. But that should wrap it up for this live video. I do apologize for the lengthy video, but it's a video I need to finally get done. I've been kind of procrastinating on getting this particular video out and showing you guys. Keep an eye out for that final, I'm not sure what I'm going to name it quite yet, but keep an eye out for that finished product of the Fenix build. I'm not sure what's going to be named yet, but just keep an eye out for that. If you haven't subscribe, like, let me know down in the comments what you think so far, as well as what I could be improving to make the channel better. Obviously, improving to make the videos not as lengthy. So do give up some hints and not updates, but please help me out, as I'm still kind of learning with messing with the YouTube and doing videos. So feel free to comment. Not really hate comments, more or less advice. I much appreciate it in the comments. For people who already subscribed, let me know in the comments down below. If you're just finding this video and haven't subscribed, subscribe and comment down below. And I appreciate you guys listening on this live video and keeping an eye out for this live video. So give this video a like. I gotta figure this out. I don't know how to do this. Whoop, I'm still live. Sorry.